Gold Pride.
Oh, this is exciting. I'm really excited to see the Gold Pride go on to, the feature match.
Goes really well together with the Punk card since it lets you pay life points to get more cards. And he starts with Emergency Teleport. That's about as good as it gets.
Yeah, we get the Xiamen onto the field.
He's going to be able to make that life point deficit immediately.
And for those of you who don't know about the Gold Pride cards, a lot of them can special summon from the hand as long as your life points are lower than your opponent.
And then the extra deck monsters get extra special abilities while they're lower as well that help you end the game in a flash.
So we are adding a Yukio Shirakusai into the hand.
All right, that's the fusion summoning one.
So proceed to normal summon out the card.
Pays 600. He's going to activate that and fusion summon.
This is going to allow him to go into the fusion Yukio. And right away, immediately uses the effect. And that's going to allow him to special summon up to, I believe, two.
That's right.
2 of the Punk monsters from the deck, as long as they have different levels.
And aren't level 8.
Yes, that's correct.
Aren't level 8. So Rising Carp splits back up, and we have Deer Note and
Wagon.
Wagon's important here because it's going to go ahead and get you your field spell, which is kind of crazy.
It feels like a pot of greed almost.
A little bit, every turn. And it also has a bonus of getting you extra normal summons to get Punk monsters out of your hand if you have too many.
Yes, and we are going for the field spell now. Anytime a psychic monster pays life points for their effects, they're going to be able to draw cards. And that's the draw effect.
Synchro summoning for level 8 here. And that should be Punk Jam Dragon Drive.
Yes.
We're going to get the Deer Note.
Deer Note effect is getting back the Shirakusai. He is proceeding to kind of looking through his deck.
Yeah,
I do wonder what he's fetching out.
Card for Dragon Drive, yeah. So he still hasn't got any of the traps yet. We don't have Madam Spider either.
And I believe that is the Madam Spider right there.
Yep, that last piece of the puzzle there, going to get the extra normal summon here.
Each of these Punk monsters, a lot of people know that they can pay the life points, but they do have additional effects as well.
And because of paying life points for a psychic monster effect, you can draw a card off of the field spell. Banishes a Punk monster, special summons the Madam Spider. Madam Spider's going to pay as well, grab a trap card. Interesting, he's playing both of them, both the Dangerous Gabu and the Nishiwari Surprise. One of them is an effect negation for monsters, which also gains you life points. And the other one can take out a set card or any card if you control a Punk monster.
I believe that is the Dangerous Gabu.
That's the one. And another draw off of the field spell as well.
He's down quite a bit of life points.
But that's the great thing that's why you combine this with the Gold Pride cards, because those cards can just annihilate you in an instant. And here we see the first one of those. It's Gold Pride Captain Carey, and she's one of the reasons that you can hit so hard. Adds Gold Pride Start Your Engines from the deck to the hand.
And Start Your Engine really means start your engine.
It's quite literal.
It's a very, very powerful card, and if it does get sprung on the opponent, they're going to be surprised, especially when they don't know what it does.
Sends 2 level 3s to the graveyard. It's a tuner and a non-tuner for Gold Pride Star Leon. Star Leon's a powerful way to disrupt your opponent on their turn. It can gain the attack points of one of your opponent's monsters during the main phase. And if you have lower life points, you can destroy that monster as well.
It's almost comparable to a Boral Sword.
Yeah, it's a little bit like a 2-material Boral Sword. You can actually play this in any deck you want. It has no restriction on the materials.
Well, that's a great way to actually clear some monsters off, especially you can get into a Synchro level 6. We're going to see a set 2 cards in the back, and I believe we have pass turn.
All right, so we know that we have Dangerous Gabu. We know we have Start Your Engines. Oh, and it looks like Daniel started off with a card that's very appropriate considering that we have Jake Pate, the voice of Playmaker, here this weekend. And that is Link into the Vrains.
Oh, can you tell me a little bit about that card?
So Link into the Vrains lets you special summon a monster from your hand, and then you have to immediately Link summon using that monster.
Well, Visa Star for us, I think there's only one monster that comes to mind that could be using Visa Star for us as the material.
Just a single material, and that is the Scareclaw. Scareclaw Light Heart.
Seems like the Scareclaw matchup we are going to see it really kick off right now.
So Light Heart hits the field. This is one of those ones that gets you your field spell when it's Link summoned.
Oh, and the field spell gets you even more cards.
Yep. So a battle of dueling field spells that are full of cards.
Oh boy.
And chaining to that effect is Gold Pride, Start Your Engines. So start your engines when your opponent summons a monster or monsters, you choose one of them. You choose 3 Gold Pride monsters from your deck. They can all be the same one if you like. And then you destroy your opponent's monster and summon whichever of the cards from your deck that was chosen by your opponent.
Oh, we're going to
It's
see.
randomly chosen too. So you're going to get two copies of Nitro Head and another copy of Carry. No Leons. Interesting. Now those are going to get shuffled up.
Oh,
Daniel's going to pick his poison. Noah's going to special summon the chosen monster, and Lightheart is going to the graveyard.
Almost feels like a very, very powerful trap hole-like card.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, the 1 out of 3 Carry hits the field.
Oh, that's a bit of a luck draw of the luck there.
It is for now, but it might not be.
I mean,
And it looks like he went ahead and grabbed. You can see that's a planet or a rival.
well, whichever one that he grabbed, we're going to see how he's going to follow up with this.
And we need the spotter's guide here. That is the planet that was searched with Lightheart.
All right. Oh, we see a triple tactics talent be played right now.
Now that's dangerous. That's dangerous when you've got the Starleon out there. 'Cause it can get big for anybody.
And it seems like we are going to be taking control of that Star Leon.
That also gets one of the disruptions out of the way. So we know that the remaining one is Dangerous Gabu.
He's going to activate a spell card.
There's the Scareclaw arrival. I
Yep.
figured there was one somewhere. It'll bring back Visa Starfrost in defense position.
Let's see how he's going to follow up. We are going to see Yukio. Oh, no, this Shirakusai, that is the one that is activating right now.
And these two are getting combined for...
Now, this is a synchro effect.
Yes, so on your turn you fusion summon, and on their turn you synchro summon. And in this case they are synchro summoning, it appears to be the Amazing Dragon.
Well, that's going to allow him to return certain monsters back into the hand, if possible.
I believe it's up to the number of different level 3 tuners you have in the graveyard.
And I believe there are a few in there.
There's a few, there's at least 3.
And I believe there's going to be the drawing effect of the field spell.
Yep, because he paid life points, and that is a trigger type effect.
And there goes the entire field.
It's a bit unfortunate that Starleon had to go as well, but it goes back to the extra deck of Noah where he can deploy it later.
Absolutely.
The planet is up next. Going to add a Scareclaw monster to hand.
Now, with no monsters on the field, I think they're going to be pretty difficult to put back onto the field.
Yep, depends on how many cards are left in hand here. So we got Scareclaw Kashtira.
Oh, that one definitely can get onto the field. And the effect of Scareclaw Kashtira doesn't only apply to Kashtira, it also applies to Scareclaw monsters as well.
That it does. Very useful in this particular matchup, I would say.
Oh, we're going to banish a Scareclaw card to summon the Scareclaw Kashtira. As long as you share a name with it, you can use it to you can banish it to summon it out.
Now we got to keep an eye on that arrival. If it was still in the graveyard, there's a protection effect that can be applied later on. So we'll see if that comes into play a little bit later.
Now remember, the Scareclaw Kashtira can attack in defense mode.
And it uses its defense, which is quite formidable. $2,600.
Yeah, it's very big. Now, Carry is definitely not one of the larger monsters here. Oh, we are seeing, I believe we're going to another Link summon.
Yep, second copy of Lightheart here.
Now, is Lightheart once per turn?
Using the effect of it is once per duel.
Ooh.
But that's the special summon from Graveyard one. You can still get another field spell, I believe.
And we are getting another field spell.
Yeah, so there is actually a second effect of this card. A lot of people never see it, but you could, if you have YCS Starfrost, you can special summon it back from the graveyard.
Oh, yes, you can.
So that's the once per duel on it. And we're going to activate YCS Starfrost.
Or the Light Heart.
Destroying Lightheart, and now Visas is special summoned.
Oh, that's what he was going for.
Yep. And now this is where the other effect can come into play. Now he's going for a Bestial. So the Bestials are fascinating against Gold Pride specifically because they are not good at all against the Gold Pride monsters. They are a variety of different attributes, and none of them are light or dark. The light and dark monsters are only in the extra deck, and because of the way that the special modes work, where they wear off at the end of the turn if you use it, when they wear off, the monster goes to the extra deck and replaces itself with its basic version instead.
Right.
So they never end up in the graveyard.
Oh.
And they didn't end up in the graveyard this time either because it was sent back to the extra deck by Amazing Dragon.
Well,
So
now we're going to see the follow-up. We see a Magnum. I think Magnum just added the Druid Swarm, but that means we hit the end phase, and I believe we just passed turn back to Noah.
that's not a good place to be if you are Daniel. The Gold Pride deck can just throw out a ton of damage. And part of the reason is that people forget about the last effective carry that lets you banish Gold Pride cards from your graveyard to pump up one of your monsters.
I believe it's 500 per monster. That's about 1,500 attack points difference right there to be added on.
It's kind of like Injection Fairy Lily.
Exactly. I believe the P.U.N.K Ogre has been activated. I believe that added a monster to hand.
Ogre P.U.N.K was discarded to grab another Xiamen. Xiamen's going to go ahead and grab Deer Note. Jam Session, draw a card. Notice that you're just rolling in cards in this deck. Like, you're burning your own life points out, but you're just getting so many cards, and so many of them can just fly out of your hand right away. There's just huge damage potential and huge removal potential.
And at the end of the day, if you have one life point left, you're still in the game as long as you can use those life points to capitalize and secure your position. It's absolutely worth it.
For sure. And Deer Note here is getting another Ogre Dance out onto the field. Deer Note heads to the graveyard. And the question really here is, just how do you put game on board? That's a 3 and an 8. So we'll see if we go Psychic End Punisher here.
It is Psychic End Punisher. Oh, that's going to add a big damage difference because it does gain a lot of attack points based off of the difference on life.
Absolutely. They're just finishers for days. Like, this deck has just so much stuff in it. And the key really is just organizing it all, in your brain when you're building the deck and then in-game, and making sure you'll leave yourself open to a counterattack that's actually enough to take you out.
And we have just banished, using the effect of Psychic End Punisher, banishing one of your own cards and one of your opponent's monsters. And the Magnum has been banished. This is going to start to open up the field a little bit.
If we can get that Visas out of the way and that back row is nothing, then the Psychic End Punisher could just do it on its own. It starts at, what, 35?
Yeah.
So if it starts at 35, you need 45 more out of it to make 8,000. The difference right now is 42. So to get a one-shot with Psychic End Punisher, he's going to need to pay once more. Oh, but he's got Leon. There's Gold Pride Leon. That's a tuner monster.
And we're going to see a Synchro.
That's a 3 and a 5.
It's going to get us an 8.
For another copy of Dragon Drive.
Going to go ahead and activate it. And it's going to add... Is that Madam Spider?
Appears to be Madam Spider.
And a Xiamen.
So that should be enough to get another Amazing Dragon. The Amazing Dragon should be able to clear everything else out so that the monsters can all attack directly.
Oh, we have a Captain Carry special summon.
No effect there. These two are being used to make Star Leon. Star Leon's going to be huge. Not even using Carry's effect here.
No.
But Star Leon's going to go all the way up to 4,600
I think there's definitely enough damage right now.
We go to battle.
Start a battle phase to juice room to target my Visa Starfrost to banish the special.
Druis Worm is coming in though here.
And can Druis Worm affect the field enough? I mean,
I don't think so, because there's somebody out here with enough attack points to win the game in one blow.
and I believe that the Psychic and Punisher, because you have less life points, it is unaffected by activated card effects.
Correct.
Effective Juice Worm?
So effective Druis Worm activates here.
Psychic N can't be targeted, right? Because your life was okay.
Psychic N can't do a whole lot. Amazing Dragon is going away instead.
Oh, this is a lot of damage.
It's way it's way more. To be technical about it, it's plus.
And here we go.
Standby main phase.
I think he opened a pretty good variety in terms of cards. I think he might have doubled up on one card.
Yep, starts with the Primitive Planet.
I'm going to search for...
I think it's Scareclaw. Acro? I didn't buy Spotter's Guide for the Scareclaws. The sites of the Primitive Planet.
Normal Scareclaw Asher? Anything on normal?
As I believe is Astra?
Astra, not Acro.
They do look pretty similar. The color tones of the cards are pretty similar.
They're all Scareclaw A.
Lightheart effect.
That does make it a little bit more difficult. Okay, we're going to go into the Lightheart. Lightheart is going to add another Ectophobia. All these Link 1 monsters searching for a field spell that searches for another card.
Effective Astra in hand to special summon into a column.
So that was the one he had two of, the Astras.
Effective Scareclaw
Now
Cashier
we're going to go to
banish
the
a special.
Scareclaw Cashier. Summon it out and banish the other Astra in the graveyard.
Effective Rightheart to summon adjacent to a Scareclaw.
Oh, you got Reichardt as well.
Effect on summon when there are 3 or more defense.
It's pretty good. Looks like another one of those cards that you might know of. So Reichardt lets you search for a Scareclaw card when you summon it. And then if there are 3 or more defense position monsters on the field, you can draw a card.
Oh, that's really good.
I like that other spell that looks for 3 or more spells in your graveyard after searching.
Now, unfortunately, that was hit by an infinite impermanence, and that negated the effects, both effects.
And now we're at the Tryhard phase. Tryhard is kind of a scary monster. You can make it with any 3 effect monsters, so it is generic. And what it does...
It gets to, I believe you get another monster out of the deck.
Yeah, so first it shifts everything to defense position.
Yes, that part is very, very strong, especially if you have to play with non-link monsters.
Right.
Monsters do.
Next,
Sure. So
it's
Astra will
unaffected
go
by the
ahead and
activated
enter
effects of
the
defense
series
position
of
monsters.
number
So
of
Noah
attacks
came down with his
that
unaffected
different
monster, the
based
Psychic
on
and
the
Punisher.
monster.
Daniel's responding with his own here.
Acro will go ahead
And then
get
if it's
it
in the
to
extra
attack
monster
the
zone, you can
defense
target a
based
level 3
defense
Scareclaw in your
monster.
graveyard, special summon it, and if you do, add a Scareclaw monster from your deck to your hand.
No worries.
And you get locked into special summons of Scareclaws for the rest of the turn here.
But I don't think it matters too much for Daniel. I mean, he does run mostly just Scareclaw. I mean, he's only really locking himself out of the Bestial cards, which I don't think would be the turn that he would be playing them in right now.
Now the Scareclaw Kashtira here is a little rough. So it looks like in the draw phase, he's going to go ahead and fire off Infinite Impermanence right away.
That's going to re-enable the attack position.
Sure.
I will summon Zamin.
So we're going Ziaman.
Then I'll proceed pay 600 for Zamin effect.
It's going to activate it, paying 600.
Now each of these other Scareclaws also kind of, they have their own sort of effect while they're in defense position.
Yeah, they offer more effects or more abilities to the one in the extra monster zone.
So Astra gives you more attacks based on the number of defense position monsters.
And if that is an that is not active, that is a Balloon, I believe.
So Balloon gives you piercing damage, and then Acro gives you more attack points.
Yes.
Now we've seen this line of play before in the previous game, going into the Rising card first, and splitting it back up into 2 other monsters.
Now we get the Wagong, and I'm gonna take a guess it's gonna be a Deer Note.
Seems like a pretty good guess.
It is the Deer Note coming out of the deck.
I was really excited when Deer Note made it into Master Duel.
Oh, yeah?
I was pumped for Deer Note. I like the Punk cards a lot.
Oh, me too.
I like them a lot. I'm not the biggest Punk fan, though. That's Billy.
Oh.
Billy is actually Punk's biggest fan.
And we are going to get the Field Felt Jam Extreme session. And we're going to maintain a lot of card advantage from this particular opening.
And we're drawing now.
I'll activate.
Oh, and we got a trap card.
So
And
I
it
will
is
go
the
ahead and
Square
shoot a
Claw
Scareclaw
Twin
monster
Saw.
and Target 2 cards.
It comparable to an Icarus attack.
Very, very similar. We're going to clear all this out.
Thinking here.
Does not control Visas, though, so they will not be banished.
A little unfortunate.
Now, it also has a graveyard effect that could come into play here because he's got the Link 3 or higher monster.
Mm-hmm.
Might be Duel effect here.
Sure.
And that'll freeze out Link monster effects for the rest of the turn.
Did you
Activated
target-
Link
did
monster
that target?
effects.
Yeah, it targets.
Ah, damn, missed effect then.
Oh,
Missed one. Target Syracuse side to something.
Sure.
we're going to use, I believe, Jam Extreme session?
It's Deer Note. So
Was
Deer
that
Note
was a
got
Deer Note?
blasted and then
Right,
effects
right,
on
right.
back.
Standby.
Yep.
Main.
Gotcha.
I will go ahead and use effect of Reich Phobia to target and pop.
I will chain impermanence target.
Triple impermanence, huh?
Oh, that kind of opening.
That's a little rough. That's a little rough. You usually want a bunch of different. So the good thing about impermanence is that you can play all three if you draw all three. But generally speaking, you're going to want different things.
Yeah, and also Infinite Impermanence does not remove any of the monsters off, so if you can't create the proper follow-up, you're only delaying the aggression from moving forward.
New copy of the planet. Search out a new copy of Rhyphobia. And with all three impermanences accounted for,
3.
Well, this is going to be very safe. I think Monster Effect Negation is not going to be something you have to worry about. We're going to go into...
a new copy of
Effect
Tryhard.
special.
It's going to tap to Special.
Search.
That's only two defense position monsters on the field. Still gets the search.
You mind if I read what
Yeah, go
you
ahead.
think does?
Sure.
Well, there's an interesting pick.
As Defanging.
Scareclaw Defanging, the continuous spell.
Offers quite a bit of protection. Your opponent cannot target Scareclaw, Link monsters, or Visa Starfrost you control with card effects, and they cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effect. That's the interaction. And I just love how cards are being destroyed, not just being negated left and right. Well, maybe except for the impermanence.
Yeah.
That was a bit
It
unfortunate.
didn't help.
it wasn't expected.
I know it starts with Siamen.
The best opening. Well, this one was a normal summon.
Yeah, maybe the emergency teleport's a little better.
A little bit better. But definitely the monster you want to see.
It's going to go ahead and fetch.
It depends on the hand here.
Yeah, not sure what else is in there. It looked like a bunch of monsters, so maybe you're getting Foxy Tune here.
We're going to Deer Note.
Going Deer Note. Also works if you have a bunch of monsters in your hand.
Yes. Deer Note, you get to summon either Deer Note itself or the other monster.
Oh, it's Ogre. All right, we're doing Ogre Dance. Still filtering through the hand, getting the cards where he needs them to be.
And there is the Shirakusai.
All right, so now we can see how things are starting to line up here. We've got the Deer Note, we've got the Shirakusai. We're going to activate Deer Note, special summon Shirakusai, and send Deer Note to the graveyard. Now we're in business, paying 600 to Fusion Summon.
There's another 600, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll do little ones to 6.
Perfect.
And there is the Rising
Alright.
card.
Typical effect.
Sure.
And the effect goes through.
All right, so we are
summon
at
Deer Note.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 monsters summoned.
Are we going to see a Nibiru?
Well,
Now-
that's the other thing. It's in a lot of decks this weekend. I'd be playing it somewhere, at least in my side deck. You can't go to tournaments right now without it, I think. But that is the...
But
it's
would
5
the-
monsters, but it's 4 summons.
Yes, yes. Would that be the right timing for the card? Timing Nibiru is also a very, very key component to the card. And we are seeing Nibiru being activated.
That is fine.
May I use a token, Judge? Thank you. And it will be at, what's the attack and defense?
It's kind of a
it would be
small
at
token here.
31 and 64.
So, well, at 3,000 actually. 9 plus 21?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 3K. You're right.
3K and then
24 Noise illusion. Do you know effect?
Yeah, that's one thing you got to keep an eye on. It's 5 or more monsters, not 5 or more summons.
Yes.
There's that other card on Master Duel that cares, you know, if 2 monsters are summoned at the same time, you only draw 1 card, but we don't talk about that one. It's not. I don't want to speak that into existence.
And we do get the summon back of the Wadong, and that is a Nitro Head and a Captain Carry.
Nitro Head, I think you always have to say his name like he's a monster truck.
Nitro Head. And Captain Carry is going to be able to fetch into the Start Your Engine.
And this is pretty impressive. Like, Noah just got Nibiru right before he would have gotten 2 more searches and a bunch of other cards. And he's still going. He's still getting more cards. And that's why you need that blend of the 2 decks and not just play one or the other.
Yes, and that's why I said earlier that you have to time your Nibiru, and that timing your Nibiru really is based on your knowledge of the matchup.
Sure.
So on standby, we're going to send the Nitro token over. And well, just like I mentioned before, he's going to put it right in front of the other extra monster zone.
That is going to create a big limitation.
Yeah. So this is really rough, because if he starts doing his Scareclaw stuff and puts the Light Heart in there, well, he can lose both the Nibiru and the Light Heart in
Yes.
one go. He's explaining the cross pattern. If you've played Bomberman, you know how Bomberman
Oh yes, I do. I do.
That's how it works.
I love how it functions. I love how you just give them a token in standby phase too.
Yeah, it plays around triple tactics as well.
Yes.
Standby phase. We're going for a Scareclaw immediately being used to link summon. He has to use that zone.
Yeah, I mean, he took the Star Leon took the left zone, and Rectophobia has been added to hand from the effect of the Light Heart. It's actually pretty hard to summon into an adjacent zone to a Scareclaw monster right now with that token in the way.
There it is. And he had to use his normal summon already.
There's no zone to special summon.
Effect to pop a card on the field. Targeting the.
Which effect is going for?
Oh, Ghost Ogre. All right. Does he have called by? He does.
Oh no.
Yes.
So the Nitro Head has been destroyed. I don't think he gets to ignite that token anymore.
He does not.
Activate Scareclaw Rival.
Arrival is going to target the Scareclaw in the graveyard, and it's going to special summon out in defense position.
I will activate target engines, target the pillar.
Starts the engines.
Sure.
And we are going to destroy that, and we're going to pick out 3 different gold pride monsters. Just start
Not even different, just 3 gold pride monsters.
Yeah, 3 gold pride monsters right here.
Leon.
Oh,
And Leon can get back Nitro Head.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Any effect on summon?
Yes, Leon will target the Nitro Head.
Yep, targeting Nitro Head.
Summon it? Sure.
That's going to
Unlock
basically
the
reignite
first attack.
that token.
Here
I'll
we go.
summon it and
Oh, he's got triple tack.
On
He's
that
got
one,
it.
Oh, he's going for the triple tactic talents.
effect
To steal.
is steal.
Taking control as the effect. Now that part of the effect does not target, so that's we're going to see a choice happen during the resolution here.
Chain Nitro Head.
Yeah, I think you have to.
Target the token, and
is
it pops
chaining-
everything around it, correct?
Oh,
Blink and the beat.
The Nibiru is fine. I'll activate effect of Scareclaw Arrival to protect, banish it and protect the life.
Arrival is going to protect the Light Heart by banishing, but that is also going to clear off that
So it just
token
protects it
as
once.
well.
Protects it once, yeah.
Chain Star, target.
Oh, Star Leon's going to chain and target onto the Light Heart.
Attack and destroy it.
Yep.
Sure.
So Star Leon will become 25.
So it
And then the
does
rear
get
is not, correct?
destroyed, and the
Does it still-
token
it still
is
still goes, correct?
destroying everything. I believe the effect is going through.
I don't think this went down exactly correctly.
No, I don't think so.
when
Because
we're using the arrival, we're resolving the chain.
correct. Because that is a destruction substitution,
Yes.
and that happens during the resolution. You just do it.
What happens is like when your opponent says, "Well, I'll chain this effect." And you think
Yeah,
it's
that
the
shouldn't
thing.
have
It's just-
happened.
It's just a general. This is one of those things that happens a lot. It just happens.
You just have to play more to kind of get that experience.
Yeah, and I think they might be working this out right now. Looks like they're chatting with Earl.
Oh,
So all of the things that happened are legal, just not the
That
way
was,
that the
uh,
action.
game
yes.
correct?
I mean,
Game
if a
one,
new
yes, that was
chain
good.
occurred, or
Yeah,
at
that
the
was
end of the current chain, the start line could still activate the effect, still to aim to destroy the light heart afterwards.
Yep.
So that's still a possible game state that we could still move forward into.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how this turns out. Looks like we're just going to keep going.
I think that might be the accepted.
The special summon is not.
My suspicion is that it might have gone this way either way,
Yes.
so it's probably fine. Maybe he takes Leon instead.
And yes, I believe the arrival is not once per turn.
No. It's just the defense.
I've already used the
Effect
pop.
is what
Yep,
Okay.
the protection.
Thank you. Special right card from hand to search and then draw.
And there are more than 3 monsters in defense position, so it's going to be able to get the second effect of Rectard.
Yeah, so this is a case where both of Leon's restrictions are in effect because it revives something, and it would need to use Gold Pride monsters.
Oh, that's
So
that's
it's
very
not
limiting.
really, I don't believe there's a synchro play here right now.
I believe all the effects have been
Activate
used on
defang.
Noah's side.
I will
Oh.
link to 3.
We're seeing a defanging.
And this
Tryhard
is
has been
defense.
summoned onto the field. All monsters on the field, because of the continuous effect, will be shifted to
I'll
defense
use
position.
effect of Tryhard to special below
Tryhard's going to special summon
and effect to
a.
search.
Is that Balone? Onto the field?
Looks like Bloom. And that gives piercing battle damage. That token there was not really a whole lot of defense.
No,
So you're
it was
losing
summoned
1, 2,
at a
3,
pretty
4,
early stage.
500 attack and defense. I can attack twice and it does piercing.
Piercing, double attack,
And anything I destroy is going to be banished.
and the banish.
This effect. Yeah, any of my link monsters that destroy a monster on the field are banished instead. I will go ahead and activate its other effect to banish the light heart
easy.
to target.
I believe
target
Daniel
this
might
destroy.
have an option to just remove all the monsters off the
I will
field
proceed to
now,
enter battle.
including the battle phase.
What's the defense on this?
Oh, this is going to inflict piercing damage.
Minus 400, so it'll be a 2K, correct? Okay. So I'll swing at it for 1,000.
So it's a 2,400 defense token. Attack pass by a 3,000 monster.
And I will swing at this, so that'll be at minus 3, it'll be at 900. So I'll swing for.
Oh, also the field spell also adjusts
Yes.
the.
Get like 500, I think.
Yeah, that's huge.
Main phase 2.
Now the field has been
set
cleared.
1, and
I think
my-
I think Daniel has committed every single card he had.
I was good 2 games.
Oh,
Yeah.
and